Log into gyroscopeme.com, the hottest online radio station in the world. GS Radio all day, all night, worldwide. Powered by Gyroscope Media Group, LLC.
Radio station worldwide, providing the best in music and talk shows. Go to www.gsradionj.com and check out the best internet station in the world. You're listening to GS Radio Internet Radio Station, powered by GMG LLC.
And Jack had a groove, and after a while, a deep sleep fell upon him, and he went looking for a new groove. He began looking for a new nation, and it had to be a soulful nation. And he found it, and it was Soulful House Nation. And he saw a building. It was a tall building. It had 10 stories, and he entered the building and got on the elevator and pushed the 10th floor, but it stopped on the 8th floor. And that's where he found his new groove. And he began to jack and jack and jack and jack. And he knew that this was it. It was Soulful House Nation on the 8th floor. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Ready, ladies and gentlemen, DJ Dan, Soulful House Nation, and coming to you live from the 8th floor. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one of those seriously good ones today, as you know. Well, we're going to tell you a little bit about that, but first, just do a little recap. Last week, we had Kasper Burnstien on, and I know our special guest today knows who he is. In addition to that, we're going to play the hottest song according to Track Source. Then we'll talk about a few little updates and things that are coming up. And after that, what we will do is we'll play a classic and we'll introduce our guests and we're going to go from there. After that, we'll play our song of the week and then we'll go after this, the Shazam Free Zone. Now, in the Shazam Free Zone, we play nothing but brand new music, and it's your opportunity to decide whether you like it or you don't like it. So not only do we play it, we say it. Want to give a couple big shout-outs and special thanks to King T Finesse and Ariel Shante for putting our song together, our theme song together. Also, Chuck the Voice Roberts for giving us our intro. As you know him from In the Beginning, there was Jack. He was kind enough to do our opening drop. In addition to that, wow. My goodness. Just want to let you know that we are on a lot of different formats. We're on Facebook, as you know. We're on Instagram. We're on Vimeo. We're on Twitter. We're on Twitch. We're on the website. And thanks to you, we're getting about 2,000 live views a week in all of our different formats and different platforms. So thank you so much. So let's do this. We're going to play a snippet of the number one song, Soulful House song, on Track Source, according to them. But again, we only play a little snippet only because Facebook has this nasty, nasty little habit of shutting us down and muting us out. And this song is by, for 2 weeks in a row, Dion Cole, Terry Hunter, and Teresa Griffin. And it's called Where the Freaks At. Chuck, would you play a snippet for us? Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Dan, Soulful House Nation, coming to you live from the 8th floor. So listen, here's a few little things that are going on, and then after this, we're gonna play a track that I think our special guest will recognize. Then we're gonna be on it. So listen, big shout out to the people who put on the Lincoln Park Festival. As you know, that was a tremendous success this Saturday, and also to Rock Anthony had the Tea Party down in New Brunswick, another big success on Sunday. Hey, this Monday, Ricky Clark is doing the free ride in Jersey City and Lincoln Park. That's Jersey City, Lincoln Park. Another great event that's popping. August 1st, Antoine Qua and Sultan, SMB Entertainment in Irvington are doing the Peace Dance. That's happening on a weekly basis every Tuesday. Ricky Clark's event's happening every Monday. Then on Wednesdays, there's stuff going on. Friday nights, Mark IV Disco is doing their thing on 51 Edison Street. And this on that's on Friday nights, August 4th, this Friday, and then continuing Fridays. August 4th, Mr. East, that's going to bring the future DJs and house music, and younger cats like Amir, J Star, and Jordan Pope are going to be DJing. And then on August 26th, the 9-year anniversary of SMB having a white party, it's going to be in a secret location. So if you're not a member of SMB Entertainment Group, I would get up with Sultan and make sure you get your membership card. That entitles you to events like this that are secret locations and only members can come. Some non-members can come, but it's a lot trickier. So hit them up. That's happening. Then I just want to give a big shout out to like a great guy and a great DJ, Rock Anthony. Rock Anthony is a bruiser. When it comes to hitting those decks, he's a bruiser, and he had a birthday. Just want to give him a birthday shout out. Okay, so listen, let's do this. Let's play our old school song of the week. I'll play our song. Well, it's not. Well, I'm going to say it is and it isn't. But Chuck, hit that track. We're going to play a snippet, and then we're going to come on with the interview with our special guest, Richard Burton. Woo! Okay, here we go. And away we go. Okay, now, while we're doing that, we're putting that together. I just want to. I just want to hear him scat for a minute, then we're going to take it down. I got So we're gonna break it down because Facebook has this nasty little habit of shutting us down and muting us out. So we're just trying to keep that going here. So listen, hold on, don't do that because you make me want to sing in here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I know my limitations.
Oh man!
Wow, listen, hey, thank you so much for joining us. Before we get started, I want to tell you how this happened. So I've been a big fan for Richard's for a while, a big fan of his, and so I guess it was a week before, maybe 2 weeks ago, give it what take, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm on the phone with Thommy Davis, who's just been wonderful to me, and we always talk all the time. And I was just saying, man, I would love to get an interview with, because I know you guys did stuff. I said, with Richard Burton. He said, hold on a moment. Did the three-way, and it was on, and you're here. Thank you so much. Wow. So,
Soulful House Nation. And I want to tell you, man, that Finesse and Shantae who did your opening. Oh, that's fire. I love that, man. That was nice.
Oh, thank you. Wow. So we're going to get started. And, we always start with the easy stuff. So, so the people who don't know you or don't know your background. By the way, you can get us right now. We're on, of course, Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Vimeo. We're on the website. We're on Twitter. We're on Twitch and other places, too. So, but let's get started with the easy stuff. Just tell us a little bit about you and how did you get into music?
Oh, wow. How did I first get into music? Well, first, again, my name is Richard Burton. A lot of people know me as Shamrock, but I started off in music at the age of 16. I was going to Warwick Senior High School, and I met a guy by the name of Keith Sy, who ended up being my very first manager, who happened to be a DJ at a club called Star Palace. So being around him, I was around music all the time. I mean, all the new records that came in, the white labels, people hadn't heard before. I was privy to hear that stuff. So he really inspired me. And then I started rapping. I was one of the first guys out of Baltimore to get a record deal. I did Roxanne's Man back when that Roxanne.
Oh, okay.
And I went from there. And then I met the Basement Boys, Tommy and Teddy and Jay. And they thought, because of my voice, that I would be, a good vocalist to do Bad Luck. So this play. So we went in there and we did that, and that was history for me, man. But a lot of people don't know. I'm an R&B artist. I started as an R&B artist. I was signed to MCA Records in 2001 by Jay Boberg, and under Mary J. Blige, and so that was a heck of a thing. And I don't know if you want me to keep going talking about the music, or because it's so much.
Listen, we're good. Yeah. So
Baltimore.
Okay. So now, I'm sorry.
No, I was saying I left Baltimore at age 16.
Okay.
I was getting suspended from Warwick Senior High School, man, and they had a assembly that day, and we had a special guest. Nobody knew who it was. In comes Muhammad Ali. Brothers with him. He had Roger from What's Happening.
Okay.
And I was, like I said, I was about to get suspended for beatboxing in the courtyard during lunch break. Okay. So, make a long story short, I didn't get suspended. I ended up in a stretch limousine with Muhammad Ali, a guy who would then become my manager named Hakeem. And we went to Sugar Ray Leonard House, man. And Ali always wanted to have his own record company, and he loved the Temptations and he loved New Edition. My brothers and I, we put a group together. We went out on tour with the Temptations, man, as the opening act.
Wow, listen, they're lucky didn't get put out that day. You would have missed them.
He was getting. He was out the assistant.
Wow. So how about, who were some of your early music influences?
Well, of course, Teddy.
Okay.
I love the Osley Brothers, man. Al Green.
Okay.
And, as far as with the house music, man, when I heard Colonel Abrams' voice.
Okay.
I was like, because everybody used to say you sound like Colonel Abrams, but you know there'll always only be one Teddy Pendergrass. There'll only be one Colonel Abrams. And just like me, there'll be only one Richard Burton. And you know, God gives us a voice. In our sound box, we're all uniquely different. You know, it may be a nostalgia, like it reminds me of Teddy, or I may do a run, but there's only one Teddy, and there's only one Teddy, you know.
See, now, how about this? Now, I've said this many times before, and I just want, for the people who have heard me say this before, I want you to bear with me. But listen, see, the Lord gives you one of two gifts. And the first gift is your ability to sing. But the second gift, and maybe more important, is to realize you can't sing and go ahead and do something else. So I'm in the second category. I'll kill you in the shower. I'll kill you. So when did you know and that you just had that vocal gift?
Well, you know, as a kid, I was just different, man. I wasn't into sports. All the other kids at 9 and 10, they're outside playing football. I'm looking through the yellow pages trying to find the TV stations to see how I can get on NBC and ABC. I'm calling them, and because I wanted to go to a romper room as a kid. So, you know, but it was with Muhammad Ali and even Keith Sai, you know, back then they knew I could sing, but I was a dancer and I was into that break dancing movement, and I didn't want to really sing at first. You know, I was shy. I was kind of shy with the singing. And then the Basement Boys, when they brought me in and we did that Bad Luck, and it's the crowd. The crowd will let you know too. You know, and I was fortunate enough, whereas though, you know, the house community accepted me and loved me, and I loved them so much, man. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to tour like I used to because I'm working on a movie project. I just signed a contract, and I probably won't start doing shows again till the end of August. But I'm working on a movie, and that's like you were talking about when you're born. You know, same way in life. You know, you have to manage your time. You only get one walk at this thing.
Right.
And some of us are born, we know exactly what we want to do. Like I want to be a policeman. I want to be a lawyer. And we work. Well, then there are people like me who there was never one thing. It was like three things.
Gotcha.
I think I would have been satisfied old man in life had I not tapped into all three. You know? So, but it was with the Basement Boys, I believe. And then when we went out with the Temptations, you know, I was fortunate enough to open up for David Ruffin and Eddie Hughes. So, you know, they let me know early too. I always was, you know, had kind of a powerful voice for a small guy. So, wow, man. And to be out there with the greats, you know, imagine David Ruffin coaching, you know?
Oh my goodness. You know, see, I go back to my blessing. I never got that far out into public. They caught me early. They said, Dan, forget about it. Try something else. So that's all right.
You all are the soundtrack to our lives, man. The DJ is a very important role. Critical.
Right.
It was Richard Burton's or anybody else, if not for you all, you know?
Now, when you heard house music, and I know Basement Boys, and they brought you in, but I'm thinking that maybe at some point you heard house music, even if you weren't singing it. When, I don't know, one of the classics or anything that you like from today that's going on, now that you're in that genre?
So run that, your last part.
Yeah. So I know you have that R&B background. By the way, I will tell you, to a person, the people that are in house music come out of either some combination of R&B and hip hop, which is pretty interesting. So my question to you is, so I know you must have been aware of club music or house music from back in the day, and even now, are there any artists or any classics that you like from back in the day? Anything that you're listening to now?
Well, of course, I said Colonel Abrams, but man,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many. It's too many to name, and I don't want to get in trouble. But I tell you what, who I'm thinking a lot of course, man, that's Josh Malone, man.
Whew.
Man, and I love Black Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
My label mate Aaron. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Randy Roberts and Bonita White. The legend just in London with her, Barbara Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
The Waters, because I like artists for different reasons. One, it may be their writing ability or their sound is just so different, or so unique.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many of them, man. I love Carl Cox, man.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony Humphries, and
Yes.
and the crazy thing is I haven't met a lot of them, but they've heard of me or heard the music,
Mm-hmm.
and I just love those cats so much.
Wow.
Got
Now,
the Louis Davis, the Basement Boys, they spin, but as far as in the future, people haven't.
I'm sorry, you're going in and out. You're going in.
As far as those, as far as in the future, as far as people I would love to work with, those were, like your Carl Cox, your Josh Malone, your, people Black Coffee, alternate take,
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you didn't say anything wrong yet.
There's just so many to name.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Go ahead. You ask the next question.
Yeah. I'm saying when you get home tonight, you'll be saying to yourself, "Oh man, I should have thought of this person." That's normal. Just so you know, when that happens, you're okay. Hey, I just want to give a few shout outs and then I want to go to the next. Shalene is checking in from. Hey, everybody, let us know what town or what city you're checking in from. Let us know. I see Joy is in the house. Michelle, how you doing? Shalene, all the way from Florida. Hey, everybody, check in and let us know what town or what city you're checking in from. Rock Anthony, what's up? Delmar, how you doing, man? Long time. Joy, okay. So listen, check us and let us know what city or town you're checking in from. All right, so listen. So, hey, name some of the. No. Where. Okay, you're into the music. You're into it like deeper than most. Most people just dance, but you're actually in the industry. Where do you see this soulful house thing, this house music thing going?
Oh man, sky's the limit.
Okay.
When you think about it, you just heard Beyonce's project.
Right.
Open it up to the world. So basically, I mean, sky's the limit, man. And when you think about house music, it's just soul music. It's where we originated. When you hear them drums, it's just something that hits you in your soul. It just makes you jump. You can hear house music for the first time, and I guarantee you something in your spirit just want to just go.
Yeah.
And I was answering your question earlier. My first time hearing house music really was in the church.
Oh, okay.
Thing with that tambourine, I didn't know it then, but that's something that's in us, man. That's in our DNA. It's even deeper than our bone now.
That's,
you know?
That's for sure. That's for sure. Now, how about some of the people that you've sung with? And is there anybody on your bucket list?
Well, so far, even with Quantize, I've sang with, of course, Jasper Street. That's what we didn't mention.
Okay.
Also, Jasper Street, and a lot of people, they know our songs. But in the future, I would like to concentrate on more original, because if anyone has followed my career, I've done a lot of remix. Teddy. And not so much that it sounds like Teddy, but like I said, it's a nostalgia, I think, for people. It reminds them of something. Like I said, I sing R&B too. Some people may say, he sound like Curtis Mayfield or Huxley and certain things that I sing. But man, I'm really focusing on this downtime that I have to work on this movie. Just writing music, because that creativity is just coming out of me, man. It's like sometimes I didn't even really go to sleep last night because my brain get an idea for a song,
Uh-huh.
and I have a studio here at my home, so I can just go downstairs and record it. But I'll take a song as far as I can take it, and then you have your DJ Spens and your Teddy Douglas and your Thommy Davisons and your Kasper Burnstien,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, yeah. You have a machine there in place.
Oh my goodness, man! Working with some of the most talented people, man, on this earth.
Right, right. Now, how about places you've sung, and is there any place that you would like to sing?
Everywhere, everywhere.
I feel like breaking out the song. Wait a minute, hold it. Let me get a hold of myself.
Oh man, you know what? I love Europe.
Okay.
I love London. Like I said, a couple years ago we were in London, man, and it was like a stadium. Talking about, I think they say within 3 days there were like 100,000 people, and that people you've never seen before.
Wow.
People that you and they just love your music and they singing every word. It's so humbling. I'm past that point of that superstar celebrity. I do it for the music and I do it for the people. You never know. Last time we were in London, man, a young man, he grabbed my arm. Grabbed my arm. He had tears in his eyes. You never know what people are going through.
Wow.
And he just had to come and dance that night. And he said, "You knew what I was going to consider, when you leave it." So you never know. That's why, every time I perform, I just try to give him 1,000%.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of Europe, since we are having that conversation, what's the same? What's different? Were you surprised when you got to Europe and you saw all these people, all these different people, and they knew your music like as if they wrote it? They knew your music like if they sung it with you. They knew your music like they rehearsed it. I mean, what's the same? What's different about Europe compared to the U.S.? And what was your reaction when you saw people like, wow, look at this audience like that?
And you know what I saw is we're all the same. Hard the same. We dance the same. If you look at their facial expressions and you go to Chicago and go to a festival and see somebody, it's like the same. So that tells you, right, it's all universal. Just different races. I'll tell you one thing about, and especially in Europe, man, the last show we did, when we got back to the hotel, it was like packed. It was like the old R&B show where it's like a lot of people at the hotel, in the hotel lobby. I'm thinking they're going to ask me questions about music more so, All I wanted to know about was The Wire.
Oh, okay.
And question after question, is it really like that? Or how was it working with Idris Elba? Or, it was, who's a dynamic guy and the DJ himself, Idris.
Yes.
So, man, it's just, it's so universal and it's all love, man. It's just all love. That's it.
Well, wow. Is the vibe the same or different as in the U.S.? What would you say?
I think over there they just don't care.
Okay.
Dance, man, 24 hours straight, sweating, clothes, and it's good. It's good. It's fine. It's like it's normal. It's like they embrace it and they become it. It's like us, but they party, man. And they do it big. And I'm seeing like a lot of the festivals, man, they're graduating to that level. And I think in the next 10 years, you're going to know it.
Right. Now, let's talk about your career. We're going to do music, and then I want to hit the acting thing here. So on the music thing, you kind of talked about a little bit, but I'd like to just maybe tell us your let's say your breakout song as far as house music goes, because you're very well known in the house music community. And I know you said prior to that you worked with the Temptations, you opened up for them and all this. So when you got into house music, what was the breakout song or some of the highlights of your career?
Well, I told you about. Well, you know what? The first song,
Mm-hmm.
my first time even attempting to do something house, it got signed by a major label, and it was called Good Vibrations. I'm feeling good vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that just like, I knew nothing about, record business or anything like that, but it just started, people started loving it, and then they brought me in, and then when it was, Bad Luck was the breakout.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Because, people can be critical.
Yes.
A remake, and you don't come, people, but when they heard the bad, and Bad Luck, y'all, like I said, it's Richard, but it may be a nostalgia or reminiscent of Teddy, that texture.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, and that Bad Luck is what did it, man, because it's such an exciting song.
Yes.
And I mean, it makes you get up and dance,
Mm-hmm.
And I was fortunate in for the Bass Two Boys to select me
Mm-hmm.
to. They could have chosen anyone.
Mm-hmm. Now, listen, just for the benefit of those who haven't heard you do that scat thing, could you do that? Would I be imposing on you to ask you to, or putting you on the spot to hit that part? The way you open it up, it's like, uh-oh. You could feel it when you, right? I mean, we love Teddy, but let me tell you something. You put some heat on that song. You put some heat on it. You made it yours. So just for those who haven't had a chance, if you, I don't put you on the spot, but
All right. Singer sing, right?
okay, all right, uh-huh.
I got the bad luck, y'all. Wow. Can't get away. Y'all. Something gotta change.
Uh-huh.
I pay my taxes, y'all. Bill collectors on my phone. But then, then we came on I've been so many places.
Right.
So many things, but none quite as lovely as you.
Mm-hmm.
You're more beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
worth more than gold. So you have that one.
Mm-hmm.
And don't leave me
This
this
way. Okay, now.
way. But the new stuff, when you hear the new stuff, like I said, it's that original stuff that,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I'm looking forward to.
Now, I mean, you made quite a few international songs that sound really great. Now, how did these songs come about? What kind of was the inspiration for that?
It's always like maybe DJ Spen, Teddy, or Tom. You say, man, I just heard this. I know you're a killer song, man. I want you to sing the song. I'm like, I don't want to do any more remakes. I'm like, no, but it's about what the people love.
Mm-hmm.
And like all my shows, man, the energy is like it's just energetic,
Mm-hmm.
and what they love. Because you have to understand, and even the younger people who don't even know who a Teddy Pendergrass is.
Mm-hmm.
They may go in the club and hear that for the first time. They thought I thought of it, but but that's their first time.
Uh-huh.
So in a way, we're still shepherds for keeping this thing alive, for keeping that sound alive,
Mm-hmm.
more relevant to a broader crowd.
Right. Well, I need to tell you, good music is good music.
Yeah.
And for me, one of the challenges with house music is that our voices are not heard at the level that I would like to hear our voices heard. Because if we're honest, our producers are just as talented as the ones who go pop, maybe more talented, but certainly more soulful. Our artists are just as talented or more talented, and definitely when they're doing this kind of stuff, more soulful. Okay. Our DJs are as talented or more talented than the ones who are playing other styles of music and or even other styles of house. So I mean, if I go on and on and on, our dancers, forget about it, and our listeners.
Nobody beat the house dance. Nobody.
Right. So again, I think our biggest challenge, and I think we're working through that, is getting the exposure. And again, I think if people hear it, they're gonna love it. I mean, how can you?
Changing though.
Huh?
This, you got to look at this. The horizon is changing. Jasper Street, the group that we got nominated for a Grammy. You never would hear that house music.
Right.
It's changing in this, and even to be nominated, I'm grateful. But it may be that next generation that start grabbing all the Grammys. Grabs some of them, So,
hey, look at hip hop. Hip hop was fringe music, underground music, and now forget about it. They have it in commercials, they have it all over the place. And I believe we're going to see that here in our community. So let me give a couple shout outs, and then we're gonna go on some more questions here. Linda Mendez, what's up? CJ is in the house. What's going on? Okay, now. Good to see you guys. All right. So now, okay, here's what I want to know too. Now, you work with some of the biggest names in house music. I mean, people would die to work with these people. Thommy Davis, DJ Spen, Kasper Burnstien, Tasha LaRae. I mean, I could just go on and on. Jeffrey, I mean, forget about it. I mean, you work with some serious heavy hitters. Okay. How did this come about? Because, as you said earlier, there's so many people that they could pick from, but they picked you. What from your interpretations, why did they bless you? How did you guys connect?
Okay, let's look at it like this, like a formula. It's similar to the music business. There are a lot of guys that can out-sing me. There are a lot of guys that can do runs all around me. But I think it's the whole package. They may know how to sing, but they may not be healthy or fit enough to go perform. So a record company may say, well, if I do this record on them, they can't go nowhere and perform it and promote it. What's the use? Then you may have so many variables, that you look at. I think with me, either you're gonna, you like my sound or my voice, and a lot of times producers will suggest or request that I come in for a session, and I'm thankful for that, man. I'm humble. Like I said, they could have picked anybody, but and I think for me, being diverse enough with my voice, I can go hard with that. Come on, or come on, baby. Or come on, yeah. I can switch it up. So depends on what a DJ may want. And then a lot of, or producer. And a lot of producers, though, they like writers. So I may write a song, and they're like, oh, I got to have it. Or I want to do that. So I guess it depends. I've been fortunate enough to be in that, as far as male artists, sort of, and called upon. Like, it was Randy Roberts who really got me back into the house music. He was doing a project, and he was Stairway to Heaven.
Right.
Asked them, who would you like to do this with? Richard Burton. And Randy and I go back since teenagers. He's one of. So, I mean, how much of a blessing is that?
Right.
Man, I want you on this with me. That's where it started too. That's where it really kick-started. And then he said, man, let's bring him into Jasper Street. And my first year at Jasper Street, we got nominated for a Grammy. After recording our first project. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Franchise player.
And then I think too, not to be a troubled artist. You know, some artists, you know, they're hard to work with.
Got you.
I'm normally 30 minutes early.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the last one to leave. If they want me to try 50 times, I'll try 55 times if they want.
Mm-hmm.
Anything their problem with me is I give them too many vocals and they can't really choose them. But it's like being an employee. You want to be a good person to work with. You want to have a good energy. And if you have that, your phone will ring.
Right. Yeah, and you know, again, that is, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. And, you know, so if I had some lessons and stuff that wanted to share, because even though you've, say, maybe newer to singing and house music, you've been in the business for a long time. So let's say I'm coming behind you as an artist, male or female. What tips would you give me? You mentioned being on time and easy to work with. Anything else that you would point out?
Well, we already said the first. The network etiquette is crucial. Networking,
you said?
You know, work ethic.
Oh, work ethic. Okay.
Is crucial. The second thing, and this is just my personal opinion, I have DJs that I've grown up with who are very popular, but I would never ask them or tell them what to play. Or, man, why don't you play my stuff? Or, you know, a DJ gonna play what they want to play. It's like Picasso doing a work of art. This is how I see a DJ. Picasso said, man, why are you gonna do that yellow? You should do that green. You know, what they're giving you is what they feel. You can't be up there, man, play this, play that. If and they like it, they're gonna play it. I never suggest, and I tell art, don't ever tell a DJ what to play. You can suggest maybe somewhere else, not at the venue, but things that I consider very dear to me. Have never once have I heard them play my music, but I don't take it personal. I always have to make something fire and hot enough for them to play. It'll come eventually. And then to those that do, I thank them because they could have played anybody else record. Right.
Wow. These are all good tips here. I want to get into the movies and television stuff in a minute, but I just want to ask you maybe a couple more questions about the music side of things. Now, is there any? Well, you've named some producers, you work with them, but is there any producer you'd like to work with?
Yeah, well, a few I named, and some of them I don't even know. Like I hear tracks, and I don't know who produced it, but of course, you know, I told you, I love Josh Milan.
Got you.
Carl Cox, Black Coffee. I mean, Terry Hunter, Dion Cole. He's an actor, you know, too. So Idris Elba, he produces music, and I don't even know if Idris knows that I'm doing dance or house music.
Right. Well,
Idris stayed with me before he got his apartment here. I was married then. I remember asking my ex-wife, I said, hey, look, one of the guys on the wire. She said, who? I said, Stringer, Idris. He said, okay. Man, every girl at her job wanted to... And he's the coolest guy, man. He just, and you know, he raps too. So we would go in the studio in my basement and we'll do some tracks. And after the second day, he took over the studio. He was doing his own beats and everything. Dynamic talent, man.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, one day he's gonna play James Bond too. You watch.
I believe that. I really believe that. And you know. And his right-hand man on the wire. You know, acting is about hurry up, wait, right?
Right.
4 hours before we filmed the next scene. Guess what we spent that whole 4 hours doing? We had a crowd around us, he and I cracking on each other.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom. And the whole crowd around us just cracking up, man. And we really came close. We really came tight, man.
I wanna, when you write, what's your process? And do you have a preference for writing, studio, or performing live?
it depends on what I feel like, and here's something real I'm gonna say. I had to take like a little break. I lost like 5 people that were very close to me in 1 year.
Wow.
What raised me and named me Richard Burton. Now, this is like the number one guy, male in your life, and then my manager passes away.
Wow.
Then I called my photographer to get some photos to tell him about, our manager that passed away, and we needed photos for the memorial. I called him the next day, he passed away.
Wow.
I'm like, oh my goodness. And you can get to a point in life where, when you lose a lot of people, man, it takes a toll on you. And these were people I talk to every week. Some of them every day. And so I had to sit back and kind of, regather and reshape some things, because it took a toll on me.
I can imagine. Well,
and even for artists, I have to say this too. Another thing: take care of your mental health.
Oh wow.
Because
Speak to that.
Yeah, you're nothing to nobody if you're not right. I had to take time and start, changing some furniture around in my life. Things that I thought I needed, I didn't need. People I thought I needed, I really didn't need, or if it was toxic to my life. Because for a writer, you need your peace of mind. I mean, your mind is everything. That's your moneymaker.
Right.
So around you, that's a distraction. It can be a gig. It can be a relationship. It can be anything. Friends. It can be family. You have to make some really conscious decisions on what you're going to do. Like I said, I was one of those kids that wanted to do a couple things in life. I didn't want to just do one thing.
Right.
I wanted to do music. I wanted to work with youth. Like, I love working with young people, man. The feeling that God gives you when you do something that he feels is fulfilling. It's like as if he hugs you and you get chills in your body. It's like when you go to the market and you see an old lady and it's raining and she don't have a ride home to take her bags, and you do it. And you carry every bag to her house, and right when you're about to leave, she dig. You know how old ladies do? They dig down and try to. And you said, "No, ma'am, it's okay." And to see in her eyes, to know it's still some good young men around. Feeling you get, like chills you get. That's what I get when I work with young people. Programs for them, recording studios, youth workforce program. I went down 1.5 million from the city to start a workforce program. In Baltimore. And these are the things I do behind the scenes. I have a mobile billboard company.
Okay.
I remember, I thought the wire was over. I took my money and I invested. I remember seeing Puff Daddy. He had 5 mobile billboards outside of Howard promoting Little Kim, Biggie. And I thought that was the most genius idea. This old 22-foot truck that drives around and advertises. How can you not miss that?
Right.
Purchased me one, man. It was one of the best investments I ever made. But you're only one person there, Dan.
I figured that out.
How do I do this, and still have, you're married or you have a relationship and do that. And that's
yeah.
It's a real skill, man. And I'm still learning.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, you're like bringing up some things here that are really important, not necessarily with the music, but it's kind of like behind the scenes, certainly in the makeup, or part of the fabric of it, is you are talking about things that you do have a life outside of the music. And it also speaks that we do have multiple. This is human. You have multiple interests. You have a life outside, whether it's family, friends. You have other obligations, and really you need a team. I mean, really, to do all that, and then you got to keep your mental health on point. You mentioned other stuff, and you got to be physically on point because. Again, a big part of how music is sold is with performances, engagements, because in my mind, to me, when you like, unless you hit like a Drake or Beyonce, when you make the song, that's in my mind, that's just like a business card, as opposed to you're gonna get rich off the song. You know, I don't know. I mean, that's perspective for me based on what you're saying, and just any thoughts you have. Yeah.
It depends on why you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you wanted to get rich, you know, your approach is going to be very different. If you're doing it for fame, your approach is going to be different.
Interesting.
You're doing it because you love the music, and that's what you're really passionate about. It's a little easier, I think. So I am very, very saddened. I had to turn down like 67 shows.
Wow.
Italy, for my first time to go to Africa.
Wow.
So, in London again, of course, and because I knew, mentally, I can't go up there and sing Stairway to Heaven, man. I just lost all those people. I break down, you know.
Right.
So, and I had to take that time for me.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't worry about what people say. Take that time for Richard.
Right.
You know, that's why sometimes you see people they fall out on stage, man, and because, you know, they just weren't ready.
Interesting.
Mental health affects everything. Your blood pressure, your energy, your serotonin, your, you know, all of that, you know, plays a part.
Right, right. Wow. Yeah, you just don't, those, because, again, most of it you're thinking about, you're singing or you're not singing, and that's pretty much it. It's not necessarily taking all those things into consideration. And that's all part of, you know, we're human beings first, so, wow.
Now I have to get in, you know, like I told you, I lost my manager, man. I've known him for 30-something years. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you have to regroup, and you have to do that. And you have to kind of look at managers who would be good. And so, you know, but the thing is, you keep going, though. That's
right.
The thing. You have to keep going, because those people that love your music, they coming to see you. You know, they want a show.
Right.
And you get up there and make everybody cry. So you get yourself together, and then you go back out and you hit it hard. And that's life.
Right. Let's talk about acting. Tell us about your acting career, how you got started. Many people know you as Shamrock. They know you played you had some serious roles. Talk to us. How did that happen? I guess you were minding your business one day, and then boom. I mean, what? Talk to us.
I always wanted to be an actor, right? So,
okay.
Man, I just like anybody else, I went and auditioned.
Okay, really? Okay.
Scary. I mean, you understand? Yeah, I never had an acting lesson in my life, right? So I walked, and it's like 120 guys. And as I'm walking through, this was my acting job. Okay, I'm gonna tell you about it. It was called Life on the Homicide. Life on the Street. It was a big hit. I think it was NBC. Walking to the table to sign my name, and I'm hearing all these conversations. Yes, I went to Juilliard, and yes, I studied. And I said, "Oh man, let me turn around and go back." And something told me to stay, and I stayed. And make a long story short, I wound up getting the role, and I played in the season finale of Homicide, and it was a Homicide: Life on the Streets. And it was a very big role because I ended the career of the main actor, who was the main detective. So they chasing me through this house, man. They shooting at me, and I'm shooting the gun back at them, and it was just really huge. And that was my first time ever doing a stunt, because my first job at acting was like everybody else, an extra. And I'm not saying that I'm too good to do extra work or anything. What I'm saying is, I found out very early that the main actors and the extras got treated very different.
Okay.
Extras, when it's time to break, we're like cattle. It's like 200 of us. We go with these hot dogs and these chips, And then I'm watching the main actors. They going into this building. They have lobster bisque and lamb chops. And one thing I learned by being with Muhammad Ali, right? I learned how to be ambitious, how to be persistent, and not get on somebody's nerves at the same time.
Oh, okay. Talk to us.
I would see all these young actors who starting off and they bugging the director to death. I could like flies. I could see him like he's trying to do his job, and they're like, casting agent do I need? Or like if there were new, the main actors, they would always go around them asking them, who's your casting agent? And that I would never do that. I would just sit quiet and I'll listen. And I may hear them say, man, I wish I knew somewhere to get some good crabs at. I'm like, ding, 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 ding. Baltimore. So I made, hey man, how you doing? Da-da-da. And next thing you know, we hanging out. I did that with a lot of actors. Vivica Fox, we became close. She was doing the movie, went out and got some jumbo crabs. Idris, we all, you have to read a room. You have to read. If you see 7 actors getting on this man's nerve and he's about to fire them, why would you go up there and ask the same question?
Right. Got you.
Or, you have to, there are like so many ways to get on. If I see everybody going north, I'm going to go south because there are people there too. And there's just certain things that I learned from not just Ali, my mother, man, my grandmother, my uncles, my aunts, my family, things that they instilled in you early. I never, what Ali used to say? He said that when he came to Baltimore, he thought it looked like a lot of us looked like we were mad or mean or had attitude. So he quickly changed that. But my brothers and I, ate only once a day with Ali. Ate in the mansion of Brother Herbert Muhammad in Chicago. You drive underground to go to their mansion. And I'm seeing all this as a kid.
Wow.
Oh man. And I never knew, all that. All those tools would help me in my life later.
Wow.
Oh, this story not over,
Right.
So talking about the acting, so that's how I first got on. And I went on to do after Homicide, I went on to do HBO Oz. I played the younger brother of Tretch from Naughty by Nature.
Okay.
And if you ever saw HBO Oz, it's a penitentiary thing, and we robbed the sporting goods store. And then next thing you know, I got The Wire, and I did 3 seasons, man, and it's blessed, man. I didn't have to leave Baltimore to do it. A lot of you have to leave Baltimore. You gotta go to LA. You have to. Well, I couldn't do that. I was young. I was married, and then during that time, I was assistant to the mayor too.
Oh, okay.
Like 2 jobs going on. I was signed to MCA Records, the mayor as assistant, and doing The Wire. So The Wire, MCA, and that, and married at the same time.
Okay. Wow.
So I'm just standing here because a lot of people that would have took them up out of here.
Wow. Your background is deep. Whew. Wow.
And one thing about a creative person, it don't matter what business you put them in. That creative, that thing is gonna click. The business you're in. I could be working anywhere.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you how creativity works, right? So of course from acting, I always wanted to produce my own films. And I'm into horror and things that make you think and paranormal stuff. So one day I went to the thrift store, right?
Okay.
And I see this old-fashioned Jack in the Box, right?
Okay. Okay.
My brain started clicking. Okay. And I wrote a whole script, a movie about thrift store. Like when you go to a thrift store, we don't know what we bringing home.
Right.
You don't know first connected to that. You don't know, depending on how far you want to go with it. You don't know what's connected to that, what karma is connected to that. And when you bring it into your home, you don't know the history of that. So my brain started thinking, and man, I got the writing, and boom. So that's the good thing about being creative, because you can always channel that to something.
Right. Wow. So I know you're working on a movie now. Talk to us about this movie and how did this come about?
Yeah, the very talented Mr. Director and film producer Kevin Talon. He producing a movie called Shoe Game, and he wants me to play a lawyer in it. And I just signed the contract. So, and that's another thing, like business. If you sign a contract with somebody, you can't go and take 4 and 5 shows, because if they want you to be in Atlanta and film on this day, you can't be in Japan.
Yeah, that's tricky.
That's why a lot of artists get jammed up and they get sued.
Right.
I want to keep it. I don't want to. So you got to be careful about how you overbook yourself. And,
Right. Yeah. Speaking of that, yeah, that's like the old joke is just signed a contract with GM, 2-year contract. Yeah, just bought a car. Anyway.
Obligation.
Yeah. Hey, listen. I got to tell you, and the plane leaves at 5 o'clock. In other words, you do whatever you want, but the plane leaves at 5 o'clock.
I love shop therapy, Dan.
Okay.
Like when people don't see you for a while. Sitting in their living room and they're looking at HBO or Showtime, and next thing you know, a trailer comes up for a new series coming out, and they're like, was that something that, you don't, and a lot of times I don't tell everybody my blessings and my, not everybody wants blessings. And but like they say, what God has for you is for you, but people can throw a monkey wrench in your stuff too.
Yeah, that's true, and some people get excited about that.
They go get excited and tell somebody, and then I wasn't even supposed to talk about it. So I had to learn, like, sometimes when I get excited, I have to keep it to myself.
Yeah. Well, what's on the horizon for you that you can share? Put it that way.
Wow. So, a quantized music, a whole Richard Burton album.
Oh, wow. I want it. Go ahead.
And then revisiting some other. I've done so many tracks, man, that we haven't even released. So I know I have enough. I work with Neil Conway. You mentioned Kasper Burnstien. There's a lot of material, and just putting all that together. And then the original stuff. Because as artists, we don't make money off of, a lot of times when we do, except for shows, when we do remakes.
Right.
Originals, and it only take one.
Right, got you.
People, like, even with my youth that I mentor as part of the Shine program that I do. I tell them there are a lot of ways to make money with music. It don't have to be something to just make people dance. It could be a product that chose to use your song. It could be vital song. It could be GM, like they write a track for a jingle. Next thing you know, you're hearing bad. I got the bad. Oh my God! They just used my voice, and then you get check bigger than any check you've ever received. So you just got to keep on. It's never over. Man. You got to keep on, keeping on.
Going back to Bad Luck a minute, what made you decide to scat on it? Did that just come to you instinctively? Did somebody say, "Hey, I want you to do this," or how did that happen?
Probably be in there opening my big mouth and sing, and Teddy said, "Oh, do that again." Do that again.
Yeah, listen, for the people who haven't heard it, do that again. One more time for us.
Bit bad, I got the bad. Bit bad, I got the bad. Bad luck, y'all. Well, I can't do the way. Oh, I forgot to tell you. So we have a new song out. Myself and Randy Roberts. It's called "Miss You." You remember Harold Melvin?
Sure. Miss You.
Ever since you went away, I ain't been doing nothing but with my head in my hand. You've been away from me for so long that I just don't think I can carry on. So I start. Oh man.
Thinking.
Oh man, I love that song.
That's a great song. Wow. So you got some stuff covered. Any final thoughts that you would like to share?
Well, we talked about so much, man. I just again, thank you, DJ Dan Dan, and
Thank you for coming on, and thanks Thommy, huh?
earlier. A lot of times we don't give credit, but the brother that was working the equipment, I want to thank him too. I don't know his name.
Yeah, that's Ron. Ron, we affectionately call him Chuck.
Thank you, brother. On the horizon, man, is to just do more great music, produce more music, write more music. Keep myself mentally and healthy enough, fit. Like I said, I'll probably start performing again in the August, maybe.
Okay.
September. So to get out there and to come to your city, your state, your country, your town, just make you feel the music that we affectionately love so much. That's dope.
Wow. If people want to contact you, follow you, support you, how do they do it?
Oh, wow. You can hit me on Facebook. You know, the crazy thing, I'm not really, and I know, in the business I'm in, you would think I would be all up on Instagram and stuff, but I try to kind of manage my private life and to have a little bit of it. And then but I'm on all the social streams, and you can call my management at 443-708-6645.
Say it again one more time slowly.
708-6645. Got brother Kenny that's handling a lot of my things for now.
Okay.
You can ask bow ties at yahoo.com if you want to send me an email. That's ADMOTISE@yahoo.com. So yeah, man, just to bring more music and to see as many of you and hug as many of you as possible.
So is that the same Kenny Burke that did Rise into the Top? Is that the same?
No, my Kenny Abrams is the same guy. He used to work with the Ravens, the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay, got you. All right, yeah.
Well, a lot of people, they still call quantize. You can always talk to Spen and Kelly to get to us too. Whether it's Street, Richard Burton, or Arna, or Randy Roberts, or Richard Burton.
All right. Well, listen. Hey, we're down to the wire. We're coming in for a soft landing here. Again, hey, just want to say thank you so much for taking the time out. By the way, let me tell you something. That was a crazy promo. Dope promo. Oh my goodness. Folks, listen to me. If you do nothing else today, go on my page and look at that promo that he did. That promo is off the hook. And see, the person who wasn't born with the gift of song, I mean, the way you put it together, and it's like it's incredible. I got to tell you, it was incredible. When I saw it, I replied back. I said, "Wow."
Man, it's for you. I had to come. I wish I had more time to work on.
Listen to me very carefully. I don't know what you could have done better than that, but that thing was off the hook. Folks, go back and check out that promo he did. Oh my goodness! Wow, unbelievable! Wow. So hey, Rich.
If there are any songs that you love that you haven't heard, I do maybe one more. Send that in the comments to Dan. If there's something you like or you like to hear about or music, because as we write this album, we want to touch Lottie Dottie and everybody.
Okay. All right. Wow. That's incredible. Hey, Richard, thank you so much for coming out. Again, I got to reach back to Thommy and tell him thanks for connecting us. We're going to, as you know, we're going to go into the Shazam free zone. We're going to play all new music, but I got to play this song that it's like, a lot of times, something is hot, but, people don't, sometimes they miss it. And I call that hot but forgot. It was hot but forgot, but I'm I would say many people caught it, but I believe this is one of those songs that you need to hear when you go out to an event. You need to play it in a church. You need to play. Chuck, can you close us out here with that song there? Okay, you probably recognize this. And we're going to go into the Shazam Free Zone. We don't play it, but we say it. Richard, thank you so much for coming out and hanging out. God bless, and let's go.
You gotta let God work.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going into the Shazam Free Zone. This track is called... Can you tell them the name of this track, Richard?
Let God work.
Let God work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, DJ Dan, Soulful House Nation, coming to you live from the 8th floor. We're going to the Shazam Free Zone. Get ready. Get ready, get ready. We're going to play it on Facebook until they shut it down, but you can also go on the Twitch. We'll be over there. All right. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
I got to tell y'all about something. I got a testimony here.